Good morning, internet. Hope you haven't been too good, but be good enough to subscribe. Time to head out from Chandratal to Keylong. And though we could have ridden any line, it's best to rejoin the dirt track. Oh, Aashi stalls again. But then look at that view. Uttam believes that if he stares at the water long enough, it will part and make way for him. But since that isn't happening, he's just gonna have to go through it. Today is the day when we won't wet our feet. Yeah. Back on the main highway, if you can call it that, we ride towards Batal, growing in confidence till we fall. Of course that shortcut had to be attempted. How else would we know that it's not easily rideable? Ouch! It does break your heart to do that and hear that scraping sound, but that's the only way we can get Uttam's bike back up. Plus his bike was looking much better than mine, so this was my only chance to set that right. Dropping and picking up had become routine by now. Just another day on one epic ride. This stretch was by far the roughest section. This was also a new valley, the Lahaul Valley. I couldn't make up my mind if what we were leaving behind was prettier or was it where we were heading to. This was an ADV rider's paradise. I tell the pillion there to get off and walk for their safety. Okay, the first water crossing of the day. Let's take a walk to see where Uttam and I will be going. I'm glad she took my advice and walked, and this guy's doing a fine job riding with momentum.
कुछ भी नहीं है, दो channel है. You can take any whichever you're comfortable with. Easier than that, sir. Come.
Well, that's not much of info, but that's all you get when you're riding with me. Hold for a bit to check out the line, and off we go. Look at Uttam bouncing around. He's still hesitant to get up on the pegs, but he's more and more confident. Excuse me, sir.
Sir, अगली बार पानी हो ना, मोटरसाइकिल आ रही हो, थोड़ा सूखे में वेट करना. कोई बात. क्योंकि क्या मोटरसाइकिल में अगर स्लो होता है ना, तो गंदा गिर जाए. कोई बात. Thank you. So छोटा दारा wasn't that bad.
ये नहीं आगे होगा.
ये नहीं छोटा दारा.
ये छोटा दारा ये नहीं हो सकता.
वही ना सोच रहा.
इतने में तो क्या है?
वही तो.
Chota Dara, the infamous water crossing, was weighing on my mind because a friend had recently fractured his leg in an incident while trying to cross it on his Africa Twin. Look at those cars bopping around. It tells you a lot of how tricky this one is. Even the approach is pretty gnarly. I guess there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Here we go. Like always, decent momentum, not speed. Loose grips on the handlebar and up on the pegs. And damn, hate to break momentum in the middle of this. But look at that Jeep rock on those pretty big rocks. Yeah, rocks. Gives you a fair idea of the surface of the riverbed. And here we go again. Prop. And we are out of here. Nice and dry.
Okay, so even though the Jeep came on the other side, which was not a good thing, but nicely done. Nice.
Yeah, I told you I talked to myself.
Fun. This is Chota Dara. There's one more big one after this. Let's see what Uttam is up to.
Let's see.
Just throttle, put on the peg, go.
Yeah, Uttam says कुछ भी नहीं है. Nice.
Yeah.
Our beautiful world has many crazy, beautiful people. The crazier ones ride bicycles in this area. The craziest ones climb mountains. And the lazier ones ride motorcycles. another water crossing. This one is clearly the deepest one so far, and it's surely a tricky one too. It's difficult to even walk around, but thankfully this isn't our line to ride.
The thing is closing and there's a nala coming. Where the nala comes is where it becomes really deep. You really can't see the bottom. So you can't really see what line, what not, right? But the good part is that as the nala comes, the road is turning very gradually, but there's a lot of scope to just go straight. Yeah. So you just keep a good throttle. बाद में right, जो right turn है, that is the water finishes there.
It's important to know that you have a lot of scope to go straight so that you can come in with more momentum. Oh, just look at that. That's a lot of water. Everyone's waiting on the other side, drying their boots and socks. Water crossings or not, this area was untamed and wild, not only in its surface, but in spirit too. And here, as I wait for this vehicle to clear this section so that I can ride without stopping in the middle, this fool wants to get ahead. Okay, let me add to your adventure, boy, and splash you all over. Life is not fair. So many sheep and no mutton for so many days. What a sick fellow I am, ain't it? Soon, we were at Chatru, apparently where the worst stretch of these roads end. A population of 120 people at 11,000 feet sounds quaint and high. Unfortunately for us, we couldn't get any petrol here to buy in black, and neither did we find any at Badal. We were low on fuel, and we had still some distance to go.
Keylong 66 है, 50 किलोमीटर तो मिनिमम जाएगा. खोखसर में ले लेंगे. वो तो रास्ते में 50 लोग आते रहते हैं, उनसे ले लेंगे. हमारे ले वाले तो बहुत आते रहते हैं.
So we rode on, finding comfort in the fact that we would reach the Manali-Leh stretch regardless of the fuel that we had in our bikes. And that meant we wouldn't be stranded here amongst these goats and amongst this wilderness. But this wilderness was beautiful. The rare sight of us overtaking a truck, and just as it had vanished on us more than 1 week back, Tarmac made an entry without much of an announcement. And oh, what a joy it was. This absolute marvel of human engineering called paved roads. Or at least that's what it seemed to us at that point.
60.6 kilometers of complete off-road. I mean, there's not one section in which you can sit down. You have to be standing on the pegs. 3 big water crossings.
Yeah, very big.
Many small ones, but 3 big water crossings. All of them between Batal
And
Chatru.
And each one at almost giving a risk of falling every time you're getting into this nala with big rocks and sharp turns.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If it is straight, then no worries. I mean, you can just throttle
Correct.
But then, of course,
and the trickiest is some of the approaches.
Yeah.
When you're getting before the crossing,
Correct.
dry area but big rocks undulating, and same on the exit. So, good stuff, man. But this is, I think, the longest single stretch of off-road.
That's why Spiti is pretty long.
Yeah, so that's why Spiti is Spiti. After that 60 kilometers, I looked at the tarmac. I like,
And the way you were riding,
yeah. Exactly. Lean into the curve, no need to get up. Bike पूरा तेल होगा ना? हाँ, दोनों का सेम ही है. पर 50 मेरा तो पहुंचेगा तांडी 100%.
ये तो पहुंच जाएगा.
बस के सिनारियो जाके भर के लाना पड़ेगा. Yeah, we'll settle down for a chai and see if we can get some petrol. Uttam has 1.7 liters left in his tank.
And I still think we can make it.
And Tandi is 35 kilometers. He thinks of it as a challenge. You know what I think of it. It is
Stupid.
Thanks so much.
I know how it feels.
Exactly. But I really appreciate it. What's your name?
Living.
Vipin. I'm Vipin.
Yeah.
Close.
And
Top. And are you from Bombay? You're from Chennai?
no, I'm from Kerala.
Kerala.
Meat chawal, ha ha. So some of those sheep did get on our plate after all. Khoksar is famous for its meat chawal.
Outstanding.
So if you're passing by, you've got to have it. Post lunch, our ride was like sliding on fluffy clouds while we were riding on waterbeds. The lunch was great, our bellies and our tanks were satiated, and the surface was smooth.
Okay, so we found the Royal Enfield authorized service. It's in a place called Khoksar. So we had a chat with the Ustad here. He seems hopeful that he'll be able to do the job. Tomorrow is when 3 of my riding friends from Bombay are going to ride up from Manali. They're going to be carrying the parts with them. We are staying at one of Uttam's friend's place, Paul's place. What's it called? Yakit. It's in Keylong, so we're going to stay there. Hopefully we'll get some Wi-Fi and I'll be able to communicate this to my friends. If I can't communicate, then we already have a pre-decided place in Khoksar where we need to meet up. That'll be a 47-kilometer ride, but it is what it is. Okay, let's see how this works out.
So here we are at Paul's place at Keylong, Yakid. And as luck would have it, there was a wine shop just around the corner. Don't they say the only thing constant in life is change?
Beer after 11 days. Not that I don't like Old Monk. The beer stops.
Mood ban gaya.
Moto life isn't always picture perfect and Instagrammable. It involves some mundane chores as well. But who says you can't have fun doing those?
So much hard work है. कितना निकाल लिया?
Okay, internet. So this is where Uttam's trip comes to an end. He rides down to Leh tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow morning.
Fantastic. It's been a superb ride across Spiti.
Close to 1200 kilometers so far and about 450 odd on off-road.
Yeah, man. Crazy off-road sections. I think in a way the bad weather which caused a lot of trouble for some guys before us made sure that we had a lot of hard work to do on the trails with our big Africa Twins. And what a bike, man. What a bike. Just takes everything with it.
Yeah, I think I realized it. I was in Spiti 2017 on Enfield. And all I could feel the difference now is that standing on the pegs and then riding on any kind of terrain, this bike is class part. And it's not normal off-roading.
No.
It was really tough and tricky.
It's throwing everything at you. So it's got sandy sections.
Correct.
It's got huge water crossings, rocky, gravel, inclines.
We managed to reach every day on time.
Yeah. Start on time, reach on time.
Reach on time, wake up early.
Open the Old Monk on time.
Yes.
Everything was done.
And I think every place we stayed was fantastic.
Yes.
Chanshal was class apart, the best in the trip.
Yeah.
Chanshal obviously took away everything because of the view, the off-road, cross.
And I still feel when it comes to technicality, I think day 2, day 3, which was
day three.
up to Chanshal Pass, I think still is the most technical part.
Of course. I had close to now 4 falls. 4 to 4 falls. For me, I think in all these years, this is one of the best rides I've been through. As an experienced rider, leading, it always helps. It shows, my bike average shows. I'm always short of fuel. Easy is always better.
Great trip, man, Uttam.
Yeah.
Till the next time.
Cheers. And
Safe
you have a
ride to
great trip ahead.
Comfortable? What is the snoring situation today?
Just building up.
Building up, okay. Chalo, good night.
This is Vipin Mishra saying bye for now. Please hit like and subscribe. Till then, ride hard, ride safe.